Hey, what's going on, folks? All right, this is one of like my favorite things to do when I can go back, kind of reminisce on wrestling back in the 80s and the 90s. In this case, it would be mid to late 90s. We are talking about the FTW title. Um, it was a title introduced by Taz on one episode of ECW television, and I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it when he was being interviewed by Joey Styles, and he was like, "What I have in my hand here is the FTW," which he didn't say FTW. He actually said "fuck the world" uh, title, and it was just about recognized as like the regular world title. It was like it would be the Black Adam of the ECW title. You get what I'm saying? And it wasn't defended a lot. The history behind it, I mean, the history behind it is mostly between Sabu and Taz. Sabu defeated Taz for it, um, in a controversial way, should I say? But Taz would later on um, basically come in and unify the titles. The title that you're seeing now is like one of the very first variations of it. It had tape on it. It was an old ECW title. They just put tape on, put Taz's name on, this, that, and the third, until you got the title that you now see Brian Cage coming out every Wednesday with, and that seems to be the title that everybody's recognized for. But my original introduction to the FTW title was a variation of what you're seeing right now with Taz holding, uh, cutting a promo on ECW television. Now that's just a brief history about the title. There were some good matches for the FTW title. Go back. I'm sure a couple of them are on YouTube. I'm sure the WWE Network doesn't have them all uploaded or whatever. I haven't had the WWE Network in forever. I really haven't. But there are some good matches for the FTW title. Um, Go back, check those matches out, and you will see what I'm saying, man. There were some pretty good matches for that title, even though it didn't last forever. There were some pretty good matches for the FTW title and the ECW television title as well. Um, the ECW television title, man, they had some classics. Um, I always tell people my favorite ECW television title match was Chris Jericho when he defeated Pitbull number two. That was hands down my favorite ECW television title match. And like I said, there's plenty others. People refer back to like Scorpio and Shane Douglas and other matches like that. But I digress. All right, this is how I feel that AEW can make use of the FTW title. I know a lot of people are looking at it right now. Brian Cage has the title. It's more of a gimmick thing, and that's fine. That's fair. But I think AEW is in a perfect position, talent wise, to actually make use of the FTW title. Actually, make it a mainstay with the talent. If you were to start, I mean, you have an AEW World Heavyweight Championship division, you have a TNT title division, which I would say that would probably be the majority of your younger people. Your AEW World Title division would be like your upper tier names, older guys that have been in the business for quite amount of time. But the FTW title can fit in between as a third tier title, like an offshoot title, and can be taken serious. For the simple fact of the matter, you have the personnel there, character wise, that can fit the mold to make that title believable because they have that FTW type characteristic about themselves. I'm talking about your Darby Allens. You know, if you were to start a FTW division and AEW were to acknowledge it, and you say, hey, the number one contender is like a Darby Allin. The number two contender is Lance Archer, for instance. You know, your current AEW World Heavyweight Champion, when he finally loses that title, you can't tell me Jon Moxley wouldn't fit perfectly in an FTW division in AEW. This is just me throwing these out. Those are three other names right there. Joey Janela would fit perfectly in a AEW FTW division. Like names like that. Jimmy Havoc, another name when he comes back. I'm not sure of, are they planning to bring him back or not? I don't know because of the speaking out movement. I don't know the full details of that, but right now that I haven't heard anything about them releasing him. But Jimmy Havoc would fit perfectly in FTW division, um, almost like a hardcore division. That, but not necessarily. Or if you want to make it, and this is the thing, like what people consider extreme rules today, or have been considering extreme rules, or ECW rules. Those were just matches back in ECW. There was no ECW or Extreme Rules in the original ECW. These were just wrestling matches, you know. So have it defended in matches that can take form in traditional settings, you know, like just regular wrestling matches, but also leave the door open for the original ECW rules or the original ECW type match to happen. You know, if a guy wants to bring in a table or a chair or maybe even thumbtacks or whatever, this is contested for the FTW title. Due to its lineage from the original ECW, it's a go. Everything's a go. And like I said, you have the personnel at AEW right now. Even Luther. Don't let me forget Luther. Even Luther. You have the personnel right now that could be viable FTW champions in AEW and can make this a solid division. Just like I said, from the names that I've mentioned, the FTW division could be a solid division. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to use it, I don't want to say a hardcore title or anything like that, because the FTW title, it has a longer and broader legacy than maybe a brass knuckles championship in world class. I can't say that, but it's not looked at like a brass knuckles championship from the world class, or a hardcore championship from the WWF or WCW. Like the FTW title was introduced by Taz because of Taz's attitude, first of all, and he was the human suplex machine, meaning he didn't need weapons or anything like that. Taz felt that, hey, I can beat you with my bare hands. His trademark was defeat me if you can, survive if I let you. And Brian Cage fit that mold for him. That's why he gave it to Brian Cage to carry on. And I think, like I said, a FTW division would be a bright idea if AEW were to take it serious. It would give others like a Lance Archer, like a Joey Janela, like Jimmy Havoc, like the Darby Allin, people like that who, you know, that are kind of like there right now. Like people want more out of these people, and if you have them going after this title, and have a ranking system for this title, it would give them you involve them in different programs. You don't have to shoehorn them. Of course, they can come out of that division and go for the TNT title and go for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, but to have them in that division brings relevance to introducing the title, and it also has them doing something for the time being. But that's just my thoughts. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think, how AEW should go about the FTW title. That's just my idea. I think if you introduce it, you might as well make it relevant, and I think what I just said is the perfect way they can make it relevant. So give me your ideas. Let me know. Peace.